All right, we meet again underneath the 41 WC. All right, so replacing the drive shaft that goes between there. This is a 3-speed granny low manual transmission, and that is what they call a divorced 205 transfer case. So those are kind of like the cool ones you can put in and rotate and move around. They're not attached to the transmission. But as I put this in here, let's see here. I'm going to explain why this is broken here intentionally, right? So, this is an off-road vehicle. This is a serious off-road vehicle. Mud, snow, this kind of thing. There's my rear drive shaft right there. And my thought process is a couple of things. Drive shafts break, axles break, all kinds of things break when you're off-roading. It's a manual transmission. It's got 37-inch tires on it. They're really heavy. It's really high geared because I wanted to be able to drive it down the highway. So that load and shock tends to break things sometimes. And I decided that if something broke, I want it to be something easy to carry in and out, easy to repair, that kind of thing. So even the U-joints I use. So on this, I use the greasable, internally greasable U-joints. And everybody's like, oh, those break easy. That's why I did it. I wanted to break the U-joints here, which is 3 feet above the ground, rather than at the differentials with a long drive shaft that goes all the way across. That's my front, oops, ding. There's my front drive shaft right here. So, basically, this 205 transfer case and the transmission have an engineered damage point. So, just like I figured, it didn't damage either yoke, which are hard to get off, right? It just damaged the drive shaft. Now, I did have to get one of the ends of the drive shaft changed out, and that's okay, because it was much better than a big drive shaft. The other thing about this, if it breaks this drive shaft, it's a very short drive shaft. So if I have to weld it up in the field or something like that, there's not a chance. There's a less chance of a big vibration coming out of it. There's less of it to actually get damaged. So the damage tends to the damage tends to happen where I engineered it. And I know this because I've done this. I think it's the 3rd or 4th time I've actually broke this drive shaft off of this thing. Usually it's when I'm doing something silly, of course. But let's go ahead and put it in. So this is while we're working on this is a 1941 WC, but it's not really all just a 1941. It's the cab is a 41, front fenders are a 41. I think the bed is like a 44-ish, but like the rear fenders on the bed are a different year. The chassis you're looking at, the frame, and the transfer case are out of a somewhere around a 75 to 79 Dodge pickup. So that's what gives me the more modern setup than this would have had for suspension. Then I put Skyjacker Soft Ride lift kit on it, Fox shocks on it, that kind of thing. And it turned into this pretty cool project of just kind of finding stuff that fit and putting it together into this really drivable, really usable vehicle that I really like. I don't like breaking it like this, but you get what you get. I was messing around in the yard and decided to do something silly, and here I am underneath the truck on a Saturday morning with the birds chirping. So. So far, so good. Last night was pretty cool. We went to a concert. I think Devo. Yeah, Devo last night. The first drive of the 48 with no problems at all. Kind of had a little rush at the end to get the headlights working on it and a couple other things. But I think we made it up about 65 miles an hour in it down the road, and it stayed together. So super happy about that. Came out this morning, it fired right up, moved it out of the parking spot. It was pretty neat. If you want to see more on the 48 Plymouth Special Deluxe, I have shorts and videos on that. All the way from when we started working on the starter on it to, I think we did a radiator last in it. So far, so good. Some of the main concerns when something like this happens is it messing up the threads, because it's a lot of shock when it breaks those in the yoke. So there we go, looking good though. This side was a little stiff going in, so I think it's getting there, but just tighten it up, so I think it's good. Yeah, that tightened up nicely. All right. So when I build stuff like this, these super custom vehicles, what I try to do is I try to look for vehicles I take them from something that's super common. If I'm going to take a part off of something rare and replace it with something modern, I want people in the future to be able to identify it and get parts for it, right? So the 1941 is really hard to get parts for, but a 75 is not that hard to get parts for, you know? The front end's out of it like an 89 Bronco, so it's a Dana 44, super common. The brakes on it are super common, so everything's super common. The rear end's out of a Jeep Grand Cherokee with the E-Locker in it, so it's out of like a 2004, so those parts should be easy to find for people in the future and fairly identifiable. One more and I think we're going to be mobile again. I'm dragging it around with a friend's Jeep and a lawnmower, riding mower for a while now, so this is kind of nice to get this done. time around, make sure I got them all tight. Gets super awkward. One of these comes off, gets all shaky, weird. Oh, see, I had some more in that one I could get. Good. Good. Oh, I already got that one. Okay. All right. There we go. Installed. I guess next we go pull the fuel pump off of it because its check valve is stuck, so it's overpressurizing and dumping in the carburetor. But we'll do that on the table. I'll do an ASMR video on that next. I'll see you guys later.